Hey everyone, a little bit of a different video from me today. I'll be sharing a discussion that I had with a community member, Alex Papadopoulos, regarding his eye floater story and his journey and his eventual vitrectomy surgery. So stay tuned because the outcome wasn't quite 100% what he expected. This is really the first interview that we've done, and there was some sound glitching along the way at points. Hopefully that doesn't distract too much. I hope you enjoy the discussion. Please comment below with your thoughts and your experiences on eye floater treatments. Let me know if you want more of this kind of interview style discussion videos on the channel, and I'll do my best to make that happen. Of course, do show your support for the channel with subscribes, and also liking and sharing this video really helps out as well. Enjoy the video. Hey Alex, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for volunteering to take part in this interview. We're going to be talking about your floaters and your experience with floaters. So let's start from the very beginning. When did this all start? When did you first notice floaters? Just tell us a bit about that experience.
This year in February, the first time was, basically it had an impact, a huge impact on my life, on my daily basis, my work.
So that's been about 10 months ago, basically, yeah?
Yes. But I think it started earlier, but I didn't notice it
Okay.
really.
So it started earlier. So what, did you have one in the beginning, or were there multiple?
It was 1 point, small
Okay.
dot.
Yeah. So what happened in February that made you think this was different? Was it just a larger floater that you noticed, or was it multiple floaters that came on at once?
It was when I was moving on with my wife, when we was painting this room. I saw
Okay.
there's moving when I was moving my eyes, because I never had a room before it was like white like this.
White walls. Okay. So what happened at that point then? Did you were you fearful? Did you realize that this was something that was in your eye, or did it take a bit of time for you to realize what was going on?
For the first time, I thought it would be a fly or an insect or something on my lens, and I tried to make like this.
Okay. Yeah. It's quite common.
Yeah. But slowly after that, I realized, okay, it's in my eye. So yeah.
Yeah. That's very typical, and actually that's how it happened with me. I think I spent quite a bit of time at my table, and I saw a piece of fluff flying around, and it took me about half an hour before I realized that this was something that was happening inside my eye and not outside of my eye. So I think, yeah, that's a very common thing when floaters start. So what did you do then?
I went after that to my local doctor, and we had a short talk about that, and she was like, okay,
Hmm.
that's a usual common thing. And for me, it was the first question that I had was like, okay, what can I do? And she was like, nothing, just live.
Was that reassuring? Did you feel better by hearing that, or did you feel that it was not a sufficient answer?
For the first, I think I didn't realize the problem on its own. And for me, it was like, okay, I try to live with it. Okay, it's just a dot. It's nothing bad. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened then? How did things progress? Because obviously we know that it got really bad for you in the end. And in 10 months' time, and it's quite a short period of time really for you to go from having this floater that you notice to things getting really bad to the extent that they did get for you. So what happened after you left the doctor, and you know, how did you progress?
Progress went really fast. When I had the first conversation about that with my band, for example, our guitar player, he has also floaters from, since it was 3 years or something. So you have a lot of black spots. For him, it's nothing. For him, it was like, you have it. Okay, it's nothing bad. It doesn't annoy me. Just I live with it. So, and slowly I realized, okay, there was something coming here in the vision, okay, I had I don't know how it's called. It looked like a spider, something, a spider web over there. And more it came into my vision. So on this eye. And this eye, it started slowly after that, but that's nothing. It's nothing that bad. It's yeah,
It progressed quite quickly then, actually, from
yeah.
one or two floaters to quite a few now, and then in both eyes as well. What did you do at that point? Did you go back and get a further examination of your eyes?
I had a tour, I would say. I went to a doctor for talking about a treatment, like
Hmm.
a vitrectomy, laser therapy. But he was like, okay, you just have some few and small floaters, so I cannot laser them. And it's too risky. It was really expensive on this point. Yeah, from doctor to doctor it was always like, okay, it's not a sickness, so it's a common thing. So
Hmm.
it's not a problem. We do nothing. And for me it was like, okay, that depressed me, and in a really hard way.
So very quickly you realized that this was something that you couldn't live with, and you're already starting to look for solutions and surgical treatment.
Yes,
And you're based in Germany, is that right?
yes,
Okay, wow. So you went to a few different clinics. You had discussions about having surgical treatments such as vitrolysis. Did you discuss vitrectomies as well?
yes. This was I was not thinking that much about it
Hmm.
because I trusted the the scientist or and there was like, okay, your retina is really healthy. It's
Okay.
it's okay. Your vitreous almost is intact, so you don't have to fear about that. Everything will goes right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So they were very cautious about it, really, and their advice to you was, not to worry, that it was not a concern. It's not a disease. The condition of your retinas all looked good, and there was no signs of retinal tears or breaks or anything like that. And so they were essentially just telling you to go home and forget about it, basically. What happened at that point then? Was that something you were able to do? Were you able to go on and manage for a certain period of time? What happened after that?
After the procedure, you mean?
And after you'd had a couple of visits at specialists, they were just telling you that everything was okay and that they didn't advise you having a procedure done.
After that, I was looking into in Germany for a surgeon who was really into floaters, into that
Mhm.
topic. And then I went back to my local doctor and was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can't with this. It's terrible.
Right. Okay.
That and she was like, okay, I now there is a specialist. I give you his number. Have a talk with him.
Okay, great. So that's interesting because you've obviously got to a stage, it's progressed so much that you can't live with them now. And, most people we find actually, when they've been reassured that everything's okay and that there isn't a problem, for most people, they can just forget about it and go on and live their normal lives day to day without concern for their floaters. So clearly, in your case, this was different. It was annoying you enough. It was, impacting your lifestyle enough that you felt that you wanted to have surgery, even after you've been told about the possible risks and all of that. So clearly, this was, something that was a little bit more intense than the average experience that people have with floaters. How did it make you feel hearing that all the specialists telling you that everything was okay? Did you at some point feel like you were being a nuisance, or that you were, that maybe you were being over dramatic or anything like that?
Yes, for me it was like some of the doctors, yeah, they gave me that feeling. They didn't understand the situation, and they always was like, okay, everything is healthy, so what's your
Mm,
problem? I don't understand it. Feels for my psychology, for my yeah mental behavior, it's hard. It's hard. Yes.
yeah. Wow. So you eventually did go on and have a procedure done. Tell us first of all um, about a bit some of the research that you did before you found somebody that was going to perform a treatment for you, and then let us know what treatment you actually had done.
I found a group through Facebook, a German group completely, photo sufferers, and I was like, okay, I had a talk with much of them from very worst cases about this procedure to really good results.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me names, so it was like, okay, I was looking for in my area. I preferred that,
Mm-hmm.
and but yeah, 4 or 5 people gave me one name here in
Oh,
Frankfurt, and this guy was like, okay, he's really good at it. So
okay.
and that was for me the first helpful advice that I got.
Okay. So you basically you sought advice from other people who had got experience of the issue that you're having, and then I think it's generally a good sign when several people are recommending the same person. So you were recommended this specialist, and what happened then? Did you go and make a visit, book an appointment? Just tell us how things evolved from there.
Yeah, I had a visit. I think it was 2 months later after I had that talk because he's really busy.
Mhm.
Um, it is a small, I would say, yeah, it's a small building. It's nothing big.
Yeah.
Um, 2 buildings, one in Frankfurt and one in the near of Frankfurt. So I went in, and the first thing that they told me was like, we do this a lot of times to removing
Okay.
floaters. It's a common thing. For me was like, hey, that sounds quite good because
It's
they
quite
are they know
reassuring.
they know the issue, and was like, okay, the doctor will came soon. Just sit here, have a coffee. And I was
Yeah.
talking with he came into it, he was like, okay, he was a really funny guy, like a crazy doctor, I would say. It was something like it was not that just see you and thinking, okay, there's another patient. He was funny, so I cannot say it. It was like, okay, we will remove the floater slowly. We go into it, and then there will go out of your eye. It was
Okay. So he spent a bit of time explaining, but it sounded like he was quite a charismatic. Uh,
yeah,
so yeah, tell me, what procedure did you have done in the end?
a core vitrectomy.
So you had a core vitrectomy
Yes,
performed.
yes. It was like I think it was the procedure that was you talking in a video about. Vitrectomy only for floaters. So remove the
Okay.
center of the vitreous and leave as much as you can of the vitreous in your eye.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. So you had the FOV, the floaters only
Yeah.
vitrectomy, obviously, and you had the core procedure. So they left a little bit of the vitreous closest to the lens in place,
Yes.
and then they removed much of it. How was the procedure? How did you find the actual procedure itself?
I was sleeping because
All right. So I was gonna say, was it had a general anesthetic?
yes, he wanted that
Okay.
to work, and on his own was like, okay, you sleep, and doesn't take a long time, and then you can go.
Mhm. Okay. Great. And what was it like after you came round and the in the days that followed after you had this FOV vitrectomy done? I mean, what kind of difference did you notice?
I think the huge wrong thing that I made was like I was always looking at white walls to see if is something
Hmm.
left, and obviously there was something left. So I saw, okay, there
Hmm.
is one annoying floater left, and for me was like, oh my god, it doesn't work. But slowly after that, I realized there was something of blood still into my vitreous, was making a lot of shadows, and the blood disappeared, and
Yeah.
I, yeah, I would say things
So,
went better.
okay. So essentially, after you had the FOV done, you had a few days to recover. Then you found that, I mean, obviously you had all of the recovery time, a little bit of bruising and things like that, and it had to settle down. But you felt that it was a big improvement, but there was still a floater left in your vision. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. How did that make you feel? Was that a big disappointment? Were you expecting it all to be gone? What did they tell you before having the procedure done?
I think the problem about that was like he doesn't, yeah, uh, I think it would be better before the procedure that he explained me that. For me, it was like, okay, he was just talking about, okay, we will remove the floaters. It was
Right,
like, for me, it was like, as a patient, okay, he will remove all of it.
all of it. Yeah.
Yes. So, I think for the future, I told him in person was like, before you get people in the procedure, tell that to people. So it is an improvement. I clearly can say it is an
Hmm.
improvement because when I'm outside, I don't see them that much. When I don't always looking for, okay, where is the floater? Where is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend that. So
So that's pretty important, and that's really interesting that you bring that up because essentially what you're saying is that your expectations was going to be that there would be no floaters left
yes,
whatsoever, um, and clearly type of procedure that they did, not doing a complete removal of the vitreous, there was always going to be some risk that some floaters may be left over with this type of procedure that you had done. But they didn't explain that fully to you. So at the end of it, you found that you still had this one floater, and that floater though was significant enough to still be an annoyance to you, even though things were drastically better than before. So I think that is an important thing for people to be aware of, with these procedures. And I think I thought that they would really have made that clear to you because of the fact that they are leaving some of the vitreous, and obviously the reason that they do that and do that particular technique is because it can less of a risk of secondary cataracts. Um, so that's what they would have been concerned about. And, but of course it does carry the risk of leaving some floaters if there are floaters in that part of the vitreous. So obviously that was a big disappointment for you because there was a mismatch between what your expectation was and what they actually told you or led you to believe the results might be.
yes.
So people, when they have these procedures done, that they're aware of that and they ask all the right questions, and hopefully as well that these kind of explanations are given to them anyway so that they don't have to figure it out themselves or figure it out later. I mean, where does that leave? How are you feeling about your eyes? um are you now at a point where you can live with the floaters that you have left, or do you feel that there is still annoyance going, left over from the post procedure?
I would say at the moment it's okay, I'm, but that's my personal feelings. I go to
Hmm.
Dr. Brasse here in Germany in December. He's a laser
Hmm.
vitreal specialist, and maybe I will have a talk with him to remove this one annoying floater with the laser therapy because one floater is a good thing for this kind of laser, yak laser thing. And also, that's a cool thing. He's one of a few who can record your floaters. He can really give me this video and locate them where they are exactly in my eye. And this is, I think,
Hmm.
for me, it's helpful as therapy to see what is it and to,
See what's going on.
yeah, to remove my fear from them because they are so small and
Hmm.
they're nothing
Hmm.
bad or nothing that can hurt me.
Hmm.
And yeah, definitely, that's my journey that I have so far. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that story. It's really insightful for people to kind of get a bit of an understanding of the journey that you've gone through. And I do think that, it's something people just don't understand. If you've never had floaters, if you've never had floaters that are this annoying, it's hard for people to understand.
Yes.
And clear, you don't want to go and waste your money and spend your money for the sake of it. You're doing this because it's impacting your lifestyle, and you're after a solution that's really going to change things. The unfortunate thing is that you're not alone. There's loads of people in this situation, people who are having to live with the annoyance of floaters, and people are looking for solutions out there. But as you've highlighted, it's important that we make sure that we ask the right questions and have these kind of a preoperative assessments, make sure we're given all the right information. And then it's important to realize as well, it's important to realize that procedure like this, whether it's a full vitrectomy, whether it's a vitrolysis, there's always going to be some element of risk of floaters being left
Yes.
or back. So I think the pursuit of perfection is something that people need to be wary of as well. So you get to a point where you can live with a couple of floaters, but clearly the whole idea is to get rid of the most annoying floaters so that you can get on and live a more normal existence and not have to be thinking about your eyes or thinking about these little floaters floating around. So that's really, really helpful. And obviously now you're saying you're looking at other options like laser, and deal with the remaining floater.
Yes.
Hopefully you get a solution. It's been really good to hear from you and hear your story, hear your floater story. And I've really been following up with you over time and just see how things are. But yeah, any kind of last words, any kind of last advice you might have for anybody who is experiencing floaters or going through the anxiety and the stress of life with floaters?
There's one thing that I would say: if your eye is good and a good condition, and your doctor is telling you that, so don't be scared about this procedure. So if you have a good surgeon, things will be good. And if the for me, like, I have ADHD, I always focused on things like this. But I think if you're in a good psychology shape or something, you get your life back.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for your time. I think we'll wrap it up here. It's been really, really interesting to hear from you, and hopefully, we'll get other people's floater stories as well. And because I think this kind of insight is really helpful for people, and hopefully as well, it's helpful for just to spread awareness of the situation and the need really for solution for people, and preferably solutions that are non-invasive. So thanks very much, and catch up with you soon.
Bye, man.